Hello everyone, this is Robert again, coming at you with another video. Well, it's been a few weeks since I posted a video because every time I had a day off on a Tuesday, it kept raining out real hard. So, it gave me a chance to work on something else that I've been wanting to do. But today, I'm at my first bushcraft camp, which I am going to be taking it all apart because I'm going to be going to my second bushcraft camp and making that my primary main bushcraft camp. So I'm going to take all this, well, whatever the shelter I built here, I'm going to take it all apart, scatter all the wood around, and take apart the fireplace and make it look like I've never been here. So the only thing I'm going to be taking is these 3 planks because I worked pretty hard on them, and I'm going to be taking my grill that I found, and I'm going to be taking 4 of the pieces of my chair with me. That's going to take a while to get them down to my second bushcraft camp, which is quite a ways away. And the last thing I'm probably going to take is my little table that I carried all over here. I'll carry it down there for a little table for now until I make a better one. Now, I do have that pine tree, that eastern white pine over here, and that yellow birch tree, or paper birch tree or whatever. But that's the only 2 resources I have around here. Now at my second bushcraft camp, I have the lake is about 60 yards from my camp, so I have water. Then there's a lot of cedar trees around, so I can scrape all the bark off the cedar trees and make bird's nest or tinder bundles and get my fire going easier. And there's a lot of trees and branches down on the ground at my second bushcraft camp, so I'm gonna pretend I'm just gonna abandon this camp and make home at my second bushcraft camp. So I'm gonna get going on taking this shelter apart, which is easy because nothing's tied up. Throw all this wood around in different areas, so I just won't have a pile of wood laying around right here. It looks like no one's really been here, even though if someone does come by and see the cut piece of the log, they won't really realize anything. They see like 1 or 2 pieces scattered around. And I did clean this up a little bit on the ground, but there's still quite a bit of leaves now because it's fall right now. Still a lot of leaves on the trees, so by the time winter comes, this whole place will be covered with leaves. So that'll be another good way of not knowing that anyone's really been here, because it's going to get covered with leaves very soon. I do want to keep these planks though, these are nice. I'll use them for something else at my other bushcraft camp, my second bushcraft camp. And when I get to my second bushcraft camp, when I'm doing my next video, you'll be seeing what shelters I'm going to be building. Now I drove these stakes in pretty good. Hit where the top of the ground was. I pounded this all the way in this way. So these are gonna be pretty hard to pull out. Well, the shelter's down, the chair's taken apart. I have everything leaning up against the tree over there that I'm going to be taking with me. I left those two real big rocks right next to, laying down on that rock, next to that rock. They're too heavy to move. I cleared it out, and like I said, by winter time, all these leaves are going to be covering all this ground, so it's going to be like I've never been here. So I'm going to start taking everything that I want to take to my second bushcraft camp. It's going to take quite a while, so I'll get to that and I'll see you at my second bushcraft camp, or my main bushcraft camp now. Well, here I am back in my second camp, my main camp now, and I'm going to be starting a shelter series. Now, I have this tarp that I'm making. This is from the canopy of a gazebo. So I had to cut it down because there was a big square hole in it for the second little top piece. So I cut this down to an 8x10 tarp. Now it's pretty thick right now, and I'll show you what I have in here. But I've been making these tie-out loops for it. So it'll be it's a lot easier for me to make these tie-out loops than getting grommets and having to get the grommet tool and putting the grommets in. So I decided to make tie-out loops. I have some sticking out here too on this end. So I'll roll this out and show you what's inside here. Now what I have in here is my paracord for the ridge line, and some extra cordage for other little knots on the ridge line. Have these nice heavy duty tent stakes, tent pegs or whatever, and with these, since they're going to be inside the loops, well, I'll show you what I'm going to do about these holes when they're inside the loops. And these poles, put them together, and I have a pole to make a tent or an open side tent, whatever. But this will be in a later video with these poles that I have. So let me get this set up, the phone set up for me starting my ridge line. Now, right now it's like cloudy and rain showers. I took down my shelter the other day and had to come back today. So it's not raining that hard, so that's good. Now it's starting to rain hard out, so I'm gonna do this real quick. So I was gonna put the paracord right through here. I'm gonna try this other knot that I just watched on YouTube, or I've been watching on YouTube. So, there's enough slack here. So, throw this over, you put this through, you put this through this knot that you just made, take a stick, you put it through the loop, could even get a smaller stick. It's supposed to be like a winch or something. So, okay, I'll go to the other side, the other tree, and tie a trucker's hitch. Okay, so this is going to be the trucker's hitch. Now, I usually take the end that's tied to the tree already. You grab it. You kind of twist around. You give this some more slack. You pull the one with the slack. You pull this through here. Take it and you make a loop. Then you take this, the working end, you pull this through, and you just cinch it to the tree. It's nice and tight. I guess you can take this and the excess, put it on the tray, and you just, loop it, I guess. And this is still pretty tight. So, okay, this is all tight and everything. I'm gonna get my tarp up because it's really raining hot out. Now this next knot is gonna be called the crescent knot, or crescent knot. So, you take this, pull this over once. You keep putting this knot through this loop by like 3 times. Tighten it up. And now you can move this around that I've seen on YouTube, but when you start to pull on the loop, you can pull this, it barely moves. I mean, maybe I was pulling a little bit too hard, but this really doesn't move when you're pulling it. So, let me get that second one set up on the other side, and I'll get this, start putting this tarp up. Now let's get this tarp up. Now, I have 3 loops on the 8-foot end. because for right now, I already have this loop, or this loop that is already on the top. So I'm gonna use this to my advantage. Instead of sewing on right at the corner, this one already had one. Well, on all four corners they have one. So what I'm gonna do with this is I'm just gonna take this loop, put it through here, and put a stick through it. And that'll hold the top on the crescent knot. I'm gonna go tie up the other side, just like this one. This 8-foot tarp extends from this tree to that tree. So these two trees are 8 feet apart. So I decided to just put this trucker's hits on here for now. And I just somehow like wrapped this one around the tree from the excess paracord, and just wrapped it around a stick and everything, just to keep it up and everything for now. Just try it out. Now we will start staking it out, and I'll leave the camera running and the phone running and set this up so it'll be like a lean-to. Okay, let me get under here for now. Now, this is drooping because it's pretty big. But that's the reason why I want to be setting up these different configurations of top shelters instead of just having a regular permanent shelter here, because I want to practice on my top shelter setups, and I also want to practice on my knots, my survival knots, like setting up ridge lines and everything. I mean, this is plenty big for me. And the reason why I wanted to make this an 8x10, so I can have a roof over my head and also a ground cloth. Instead of bringing a ground cloth with me all the time, I already have it within the tent, within the top. I'll bring you around to show you what I'm planning to do about this drooping of the tarp and everything. Okay, here's the top shelter right now. With these loops inside, you can see how it slipped past here into here. So this is still probably a rock over here in the ground over here, so that's why I can't push it in anymore. But it holds pretty good. Now for this one, I can put a stick through here and it'll keep the loop from slipping out off the ring. Now, if you can see over here, this white mark right here, this one right here, and this one right here. If you go right across, here's the mark that I marked off for where I want the loops. I also have markings I thought I had markings over here. Oh yeah, here's one right here for the middle loop. Then here's another one right here. So I have all these markings for, this is pretty much the middle right here. And that's the middle of, I guess, the top. And then I have 3 more of those on underneath the ground cloth part. So I'm going to be adding some more of these loops to all, like one right there, one right there, one right there, to match up with this line right here. So they're going to be 1, 2, 3 more rows of loops on this tarp. So then when I do get this other loop right here, I can just pull this loop tie it up right to this tree. So then pull the loop out and I'll have more headroom and more room in here. Now this is a tarp, a canopy for a gazebo, so still a little bit of wetness over here because of the rain. But inside there, it's pretty dry. I mean, it's not completely downpouring right now, so it's not really getting too wet. I'll see when I get those other loops on, I pull this out to the tree, then I can stake the back down also. I can pull this back to the tree and it won't be hitting my head right here. But this is going to be a work in progress with me adding more loops on this tarp. But right now, we have a little bit of rain right now. And once I tie this out, it'll be a lot better. It just well, since it stopped raining for a little bit, I'm gonna try something with this. Okay. Well, as you see, I put the crescent knot on the two inside, and I just have this other flap right over it. But I took these two sides down because I could put some tie-out point inside here. I could always use these corner loops, tie it in here, and then it'll be pretty much enclosed. And I'll still have plenty of room in here. And I'm pretty sure, even with this down, when this goes up, still going to be about 6 feet of room in here across. And there you have it. This is what I've been working on for the past few weeks since it's been raining out. Then I had a dentist appointment. Last week I was finally able to get out here. It was sunny out that day, but today it's cloudy and rainy. But I still wanted to get this video done. Last week I took down my first bushcraft camp. I'm not gonna use that anymore. This is gonna be my main one. So I was doing all these tie-out loops. I was cutting this gazebo, this pot inside, and all this with a 10-foot pot. And I have a seam down here for the 8-foot pot, so I could condense this down to 10 feet because it was like about 11 feet, but I wanted it 8 by 10. So, And the reason why I'm doing all this, so I can practice on different configuration of shelters, and I can practice on my tying of knots and seeing how many configuration shelters I can do with an 8x10 tarp. And that's the main reason, is to practice. Practice on your shelter building, practice on your survival knot tying, practice on your fire making, your water purification, and all other forms of bushcraft. Because practice is the key to survival. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you on my next video. This is Robert. Thank you for watching.